On the morning of June 10th, 1912, a neighbour noticed something wrong. The Moore family's house was too quiet. The curtains hadn't moved. The children hadn't come outside. Their animals hadn't been fed. She knocked. No answer. She called for Joe Moore. Silence. She walked to the door and turned the handle. It was unlocked. Inside, she found 8 people, all of them in their beds, all of them dead, and every single mirror in the house covered with cloth. Villisca, Iowa was the kind of town where people left their doors unlocked. It had a population of just over 1,000. Everyone knew everyone. Children played freely in the streets. Church on Sunday was not a suggestion. It was simply what you did. Joe Moore was a respected businessman. His wife, Sarah, was kind and involved in the community. They had 4 children: Herman, Mary Catherine, Arthur, and Paul. On the evening of June 9th, the Moore family had 2 young guests staying over: Ina and Lena Stillinger, sisters who were friends with the Moore children. They had all come back from a church event together. Lena and Ina were supposed to go home that night, but stayed at the last minute. It was a decision that would cost them their lives. That night, 8 people went to sleep in the Moore house. None of them would wake up. Investigators believe the killer entered through a cellar door that was left unlocked. He waited in the attic, or somewhere hidden inside the house, while the family came home, ate supper, put the children to bed, and fell asleep themselves. And then he moved. He used a 2-pound axe from the Moore's own barn. He went room to room, systematically, quietly. He killed Joe and Sarah first, then the children, then Ina and Lena in the guest room. He worked in the dark. Every lamp in the house was turned off. Every mirror was covered with cloth. Investigators found a bowl of water near the door. He had washed his hands before leaving. He had eaten food from the kitchen. There was a piece of raw bacon left on the floor of the living room. Nobody has ever explained why. And then he walked out into the night. The discovery shattered Villisca. Word spread within hours. By midday, more than 100 people had walked through the crime scene, destroying evidence before investigators arrived, some of them picking up objects as souvenirs. One person reportedly took a piece of Joe Moore's skull. The town never recovered its sense of safety. Husbands who were away on business trips received frantic telegrams. Women packed their children into hotels. Ordinary people began sleeping with loaded guns beside their beds. The local newspaper dubbed the unknown killer the Phantom. 3 main suspects emerged over the years. A travelling preacher named Reverend George Kelly eventually confessed, but then recanted. His 2 trials both ended without conviction. A man named Frank Jones, a business rival of Joe Moore's, was investigated but never charged. A serial killer named Henry Moore, no relation to the family, was suspected of committing similar axe murders across multiple states in the same period. None of them were ever proven guilty. The case remains officially unsolved to this day. The house still stands. It is now a museum. People travel from across the country to walk through its rooms, to stand in the doorways where the bodies were found, to look at the original furniture, the original walls. Paranormal investigators have claimed to record unexplained sounds inside. Visitors have reported feeling watched. Some have left quickly and refused to go back. The axe used in the murders was eventually recovered. The mirrors are still covered by tradition whenever the house is open after dark. Nobody sleeps there willingly. And in the town of Villisca, even now, more than 100 years later, some of the older residents still lock their doors at night with a different kind of care. The kind that comes from knowing that once, on a warm June night, An unlocked door meant that 8 people never woke up. We want crimes to be solved. We want there to be a reason, an explanation, a face to put to the darkness. Villisca never got that. The phantom, whoever he was, killed 8 people, covered every mirror, washed his hands, ate a piece of food from their kitchen, and walked away into a world where nobody ever stopped him, where he might have done it again. We don't know. We only know the town of Villisca, the unlocked door, the covered mirrors, the bowl of water by the door, and 8 people who went to sleep on a warm June night and never woke up. Subscribe to Never Told Stories, because some of the most terrifying stories in the world actually happened.